Hi, I'm Kristin Duncan and I'm a real estate agent here in Orlando, Florida, and today I want to take you on a tour of Waterford Lakes. So you'll hear people refer to Waterford as if it's kind of its own town or its own city, but it's actually part of Orlando. So all of the homes and businesses here will have an Orlando address. And just to give you an idea of where we are only 11 miles due east of downtown Orlando, so a very quick, easy commute to downtown. We are about 45 minutes from the theme parks and only 20 minutes from the Orlando airport. So you can see that's one of the reasons that people love to live in this community. So let's talk about the layout of Waterford Lakes. There's kind of two sections to Waterford, the north and the south end. The north, which is just north of the 408 toll road or the 408 expressway, and then the southern side is where most of the houses and residential properties are. That's where I am right now in one of the parks that is part of the residential neighborhood. So let's talk about the shopping plaza first. You'll hear people in Orlando refer to it as Waterford Lakes all the time, and that's where they're hanging out. That's what they're talking about, is this shopping plaza. It has everything you need there. If you don't want to leave the Waterford Lakes bubble, you don't have to, because this plaza has over 100 stores and over 30 restaurants, and that includes Target, Home Depot, there's banks, there's even a Tiger Woods style kind of putting game there. You can hang out in this area and just be totally fine. There's plenty to do. So now let's talk about the south side of the 408, which is the residential area, again, where I'm standing now. These are going to be primarily single-family homes in this area and built from the mid-1990s to the mid-2000s for the most part. So these houses, I really like them because most of them have a backyard. You'll see with some of the newer communities, they have a rear loading garage. These have a front loading garage, more of your typical Florida style home when you think of a Florida home, block and stucco properties. And it's really easy to find a swimming pool here. Because this community is a little bit more established, has been here for a few years, there's plenty of homes with swimming pools to be had. And if you don't have a private pool, you have the amenities that we'll talk about in just a minute. So living in Waterford Lakes means you have access to some really great amenities, and I'm standing in one of those areas now. You can see there's small lakes and ponds woven throughout the community. This one actually has a really nice walking path. There's fitness equipment behind me, and just across the street is the recreation center, which is kind of the main park of the community. They're going to have swimming pool, tennis courts, basketball courts, ball fields, even a dog park, which I love. So if you live here, you can actually play and hang out in this community as well. And they have all kinds of activities for kids, running clubs for adults. It's a very active lifestyle in the Waterford community. So let's talk for a minute about the typical Waterford Lakes neighborhood. I'm standing in one right now, and you're going to have an HOA if you live in here, but I think it's worth it because they really keep up the landscaping beautifully. The entrances are gorgeous. This community has been here long enough where the trees are getting big, everything's bright green, it's really gorgeous, really beautiful, it's matured well over the years. But with these HOA fees, they'll be fairly minimal compared to other parts of Orlando. Most likely you're looking at a few hundred per year, not per month. And again, you have access to those amenities. As of right now, for a single family home in Waterford Lakes, you're probably looking at a minimum of about $400,000 to $415,000. You're gonna pay more, of course, if you want a swimming pool, but I would say the average home in the community, we're looking at $450,000 to $550,000 right now. So there will mostly be single family homes. However, there are some condo complexes on the northern half of the community, so a little bit closer to the plaza, the shopping plaza area. Also in that area, you will see UCF students. University of Central Florida is just on the north side of Waterford Lakes, and so you'll see a lot of students living in those condos, shopping at the complexes. But in this half of the community, I would say it's mainly residential or long-term rentals. This is not a section of Orlando where you can do short-term or vacation rentals. That's not allowed here. So let's talk about some reasons that you would want to live in Waterford Lakes. One of the reasons is the school system. Compared to other schools in Florida, in Orlando, Waterford Lakes is pretty highly rated by comparison, and a good majority of the homes in here are zoned for Timber Creek High School, which is A rated. So really good news there. You do have some private school options nearby, especially for the little ones. There are more of those. So another reason would be accessibility. Again, we are right by the 408, easy access to the 417. You can easily work downtown. You can even work in hospitality and at the theme parks and be there in under an hour, well under an hour on most days. And of course, UCF and Research Park are just a few minutes up the street. Waterford Lakes can be a great alternative to living and working in Lake Nona as well. You can still work in that area of Orlando, but not pay the Lake Nona prices. There you're looking at usually $500–600 plus for a home. Here it's a little bit more on the affordable side, but it's a short commute. So we've already talked about one of the reasons you'd want to live here as well, which is how self-contained it is. You can play here, work really close by, and enjoy a nice residential feeling community, and that makes it really attractive to a lot of homeowners. So finally, you're close to the beaches. If you are on the west side of Orlando, more Winter Garden, Claremont, you're going to have a good little hike to get to the beaches. And here you're looking at under an hour to get to Cocoa and Titusville and some of the East Coast beaches. So thank you for taking this tour of Waterford Lakes with me today. I would love to hear what you think of the community, and would also love to hear what other areas of Orlando we should explore.